Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Self-Powered Podcast. In today's episode, we will explore an easy way for you to get yourself out of the disempowering state of self-criticism. It's never easy to deal with criticism and negative comments from others, but what is often even harder to deal with is the judgment we hold toward ourselves. If someone else criticizes or doubts us, we can often rationalize it by recognizing that they just don't have the life that we want, so why should we listen to them? Or when our path is just too far off from theirs or in a territory unknown to them, we can easily forgive them for not seeing and understanding our vision. When it comes from ourselves, though, it is a lot harder to deal with. Then we can't label it as being misunderstood or inaccurate because it comes from us, right? Whenever we go into negative self-talk and self-doubt, it is crucial that we guide ourselves out of it again. Instead of being a constant critic, we need to learn to break our own mental downward spiral, and this is best done with a thought pattern interruption. As the name suggests, it is something you do or think that interrupts the thought pattern and allows you to course correct. To do this can be surprisingly easy or simple, and my favorite way is to read quotes or watch shorts by people who inspire me. For me, it is the fastest and simplest way to get your mind into the right gear again quite instantly. There's one quote in particular that has become my anchor in those moments of doubt. And I'm sure most of you know this one already. It is so powerful because it addresses so many aspects of self-doubt and it speaks to the very core of the hero's journey. Here it is. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, and who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. This is one of my favorite quotes and one that I have up on my wall above my desk in my office, and it is there so that I can access it whenever I need to. Like you, I go through times when I feel tired, discouraged, and inadequate, and I sometimes question whether I have the capability to achieve what I so deeply want to accomplish in my life. And I often ask myself whether the struggle is really worth it. And in those times, I look up and read this quote, especially that one sentence, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. That sentence always inspires me to keep going, and it pulls me out of that state of fear of failure and the feeling of inadequacy. It reminds me that the real fulfillment is not in whether we succeed or not. It is in leaving nothing on the table. The word fulfillment itself already gives us the clue. It's about fully immersing ourselves into whatever it is we choose to do, and that fills us up with a sense of meaning and satisfaction of a life fully lived. And honestly, I believe this to be true whether you are 20 or 80. To me, every day is something complete in itself, so it does not matter how much time there is left. Wherever you are today, in this moment, this is the perfect time to seize and live the day fully. To me, the quote by Roosevelt is not a reminder not to worry about criticism from others, although of course that's super important, but even more important, it is a reminder to not get discouraged by my own criticism toward myself. You see, we usually make ourselves quit long before others do. We are constantly judging ourselves, constantly focusing on where we fall short and where the doer of deeds should have done things better. We don't forgive ourselves for errors and shortcomings. We hold it as an endless grudge against ourselves, which we then use, sometimes even years later, as evidence of inadequacy. We can be terrible companions toward ourselves, and the worst of all is we can't even quit the relationship because there is no escaping ourselves. And this is where we need to learn to consistently bring ourselves back to awareness. The awareness that the reason we fall short is because we are actually in the arena. It is because we are putting in a genuine effort. You might be tired and frustrated and exhausted, and however hard it is now, it also means that one day you will look back at your life and say, hey, I've used it all up. I let nothing go to waste regardless of the outcome. I shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. So don't define yourself only by your wins. Also define yourself by your willingness to try and to persevere. Define yourself by the experiences you have gathered and the lessons you have learned. Even define yourself by your defeats, because they remind you of how courageous you have been to try things out and go beyond your certainty zone. When you are about to go into a self-deprecating spiral, read this quote over and over again. Read it until you are reminded that you are still on the hero's journey, and that being on the journey in the first place is what already makes you a hero. Be proud of the person you are becoming through all your wins and losses, ups and downs, and instead of being the critic of yourself, be proud to be in the arena, no matter how messy it gets sometimes. I wish for you and for all of us to go to bed at night knowing you left nothing on the table, and that you can rest easily knowing that you have your own back, no matter what happens. I'm with you in the arena, and I honor you for your warrior spirit. This is it from me for today. Have yourself a beautiful day. Much love to you all. And always stay powered by progress. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye.